Could it be that one of history's greatest minds, Sir Isaac Newton, the man who gifted us the laws of gravity and calculus, would be dabbling in something as seemingly frivolous and futuristic as Shiba Inu? What if, somehow, the brilliant polymath, who once served as the master of the Royal Mint, were alive today? How would his analytical genius, his relentless pursuit of underlying principles, and his understanding of value and systems interact with the wild, unpredictable world of cryptocurrency, and specifically, with a meme coin like Shiba Inu? It's a thought experiment, of course, a delightful hypothetical that allows us to bridge centuries of scientific and economic evolution. We're talking about a figure whose work laid the very foundation for modern physics, optics, and mathematics. The same man who, in his role at the Royal Mint, revolutionized coinage, combating counterfeiters and establishing a more robust financial system for his era. This wasn't just a theoretician, he was a practical innovator, deeply concerned with the integrity and functionality of economic systems. Now, imagine him in 2025. He's no stranger to speculative bubbles, having famously lost a fortune in the South Sea bubble. A painful lesson in market irrationality that perhaps would make him both wary and acutely aware of speculative manias. But he was also a man who saw patterns, who looked for the fundamental forces at play, whether in the cosmos or in the economy. So, Newton, armed with his formidable intellect, confronts Shiba Inu. What would he make of its genesis, its community-driven ethos, its playful yet volatile nature? He, who understood the precise movements of celestial bodies, would certainly be perplexed by the seemingly arbitrary price swings of a digital asset born from internet culture. He'd likely scrutinize the underlying technology, the blockchain, with the same rigor he applied to the mechanics of the universe. He'd probably marvel at the decentralized ledger, the cryptographic security, and the global, instantaneous nature of transactions, a stark contrast to the slow, physical movement of gold and silver he was accustomed to. His initial reaction might be one of scientific skepticism. Where are the immutable laws governing its value? What are the forces at play? He'd look for the inherent utility, the practical application. And here's where Shiba Inu, and indeed many cryptocurrencies, present a fascinating paradox. While Bitcoin, often referred to as digital gold, might appeal to his understanding of scarcity and a store of value, Shiba Inu is different. It's not just about scarcity, it's about community, viral marketing, and collective belief. Newton, the alchemist, might see parallels in the collective human desire to transform something perceived as base into something valuable, though, instead of lead into gold, it's digital code into perceived wealth. He understood the human element in markets, even if he couldn't always predict it. His South Sea bubble experience would serve as a constant reminder that human psychology often trumps pure rationality in financial markets. But let's dive deeper. If Newton were truly to add Shiba Inu to his portfolio or, more profoundly, consider its implications, he would likely examine it through several lenses. Firstly, from a mathematical and algorithmic perspective, he'd be fascinated by the smart contracts, the tokenomics, the burning mechanisms, and the intricate code that governs the Shiba Inu ecosystem, including Shibarium, its Layer 2 blockchain. He'd probably see the potential for mathematical modeling within these systems, even if the variables were far more numerous and less predictable than planetary orbits. He'd appreciate the underlying cryptographic principles, recognizing the elegance of the mathematical solutions that secure these digital assets. He, who invented calculus to describe continuous change, would be keen to develop new mathematical tools to understand the discrete yet rapidly evolving nature of blockchain transactions. Secondly, from a systems and governance perspective, as the master of the Royal Mint, Newton was concerned with the integrity of the monetary system. He'd likely appreciate the decentralized governance models that some cryptocurrencies aspire to, where a community, rather than a single authority, makes decisions. He might even see echoes of natural laws in how decentralized networks self-organize and achieve consensus. However, he would also keenly observe the challenges of decentralized governance, the potential for fragmentation, and the difficulties in achieving consensus among a diverse and often anonymous community. He might even propose a law of diminishing returns for decentralization if it leads to inefficiency or inaction. Thirdly, from an economic and sociological perspective, this is where Shiba Inu truly shines, and where Newton might find his greatest challenge and perhaps his most profound insights. Shiba Inu's value is heavily driven by its community, by social media trends, and by the collective belief in its potential. This is far removed from the tangible value of gold or the intrinsic utility of a currency backed by a nation-state. Newton would have to reconcile his understanding of hard assets and established monetary systems with a phenomenon largely driven by network effects and mimetic power. He might see it as a fascinating sociological experiment, a real-time demonstration of how collective belief can imbue something with value, even without traditional backing. He might even theorize about a new kind of social gravity that attracts and holds together a decentralized community around a digital asset. His past experience with the South Sea bubble would immediately bring to mind the dangers of speculative fervor, but perhaps also the power of collective excitement to drive innovation and adoption, however fleeting. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.